So we're going to do a really quick video looking at USO, which is the US oil ETF. You can see here USO has been on quite the run. If you look at this chart on the side here, it's been nothing but sideways essentially since the beginning of April. Like, what was it, Q2? Essentially since the beginning of Q2, this thing has been going back and forth sideways. Higher, lower, higher, lower. What are we going to do next? I think we're going higher. I think if we continue with this trajectory, we are going to see higher prices in oil by the beginning of next year. I'm thinking about January, February, March of 2025. I would expect that oil prices are going to be much higher. I'd say right now we've just done what would be considered a classic shakeout. We've gone from our very low prices here. You can see when the price is this blue lettering, that means that it is 2 or 3 standard deviations below its 23-day moving average. You can see here we are finally back up above our 23-day moving average. The volume, we had some breakout days. These volume spikes, whenever you see a volume spike, what that means in my system is that it is a 10-day high where the price is higher than the 10-day average of the previous 10 days. That is a humongous breakout because that's what you'd want. It's something that I like to pay attention to. But if we're looking at USO here, you can see a little bit of the go long in the short term indicator, as well as the go long in the intermediate. It doesn't have a go long necessarily in the longer term, but we've lost the go short. We're seeing some bullishness in the sentiment. If we see over here, what I love is that we're coming off of the 2-day sentiment, which is with this blue lettering with the white background. That means it's essentially been ice cold. We are coming off of this low in the sentiment right here. We're at 38% most recently, just in the beginning of August. Now we're in the very middle. We're only at 42% bullishness. You can see previously we've been up at 63%. That 63%, if we look here, these were great prices. I don't know what this was. Oh wow, this is so fascinating the way that it works. But it says it was 80 bucks right here, which makes sense. I mean, based on what you see, it hits a new high and then it just collapses. But this is what we're looking at. Now, if we're looking at USO from the chart perspective, the reason why we have so much expectation is because it is in the middle of its range right now. You can see the 15th, it's at the exact same price, ironically, in March 2024. And when you think about where you've gone, you haven't gone anywhere. You've hit the top, you've hit the bottom, you've hit the top, you've hit the bottom. Where are we going to go again? I think we're going to the top. If we look at the overall daily sentiment indicator, we're breaking back up above the 15-day moving average. That's really positive to see. In terms of bullishness, we are not back up at those highs of 65% that we saw in the middle of July, but you can see the previous type of move where we were below in May. Underneath that 15-day moving average, we broke up above, we retested it here. It looks like in the beginning of June, and we were off to the races. We don't know what this is going to be, but I suspect that when you get down to these levels, when we're down at 41% for even the 15-day moving average, from what I can tell, from everything that I know about this indicator, you're never going to stay at 40%. You're trying to get back to the general balance at 50%, so there's going to at least be a snapback from here. Volatility continues to fall and correlation continues to fall, then double negative is actually going to make a positive in a weird way. If we look at the range, where are we here? Top of the range is 81.67. There's no reason why we can't get there. Absolutely no reason. Bottom of the range is continuing to go higher. Lowest was 70 bucks. We didn't even hit it. We hit 72. Before we hit 70. 71, we even had 70 before. We hit 71. And that is an indication of where we are. The bottom of the ranges continue to stay higher. That's very positive. I like to see that. Look at the ultra fast sentiment. This is what I'd love to see in terms of like what I think is going to happen over the next week or so. We're coming off of just such a low. We're at 38% just on the 8th of August. Same as we were at the end of May. We're even lower at the beginning of May, middle of May, 34, 35%. That's crazy. That's a washout. 38% though, 38%, yeah. We were there in the end of May, by the 29th. That was the beginning of what the transition. So from where we are right now, I think there's a lot of opportunity. Let's see.